Pixar Animation Studios. This company stands for innovative storytelling and great animation. And I have decided to revisit all these movies and watched 15 of them in the last 2 weeks, so I can recommend to you which ones you should watch again or which ones you should check out for the first time if you haven't seen them already. Pixar was founded in 1979 and named Graphic Group. They started with experimenting with animation and after that produced short films on a regular basis. In 1995 they had a breakout hit and released their first ever feature-length animation film of all time, Toy Story. Pixar became very successful over the years and over the time a huge rivalry with Disney Animation Studios grew, which eventually ended in Disney buying Pixar in 2006 for $7 billion. Over the years, Pixar has won 19 Oscars, which is pretty strong for only 20 films. And now I'll try to rank the 7 best of them. You will see what the half means in the end of the video, but now let's begin. Number 7.
Paris, France, home of the finest restaurants and the greatest chefs in the world. All my life I've wanted to be one of them. You may think that's a strange dream for a rat, but I've always believed that with hard work and a little luck, it's only a matter of time before I'm discovered.
Ratatouille was released in 2007 and directed by Brad Bird. It offers a very good setting in a noble restaurant in Paris where a rat tries to cook. Good and a playful cinematography, some fascinating ideas, some good and some rather bad and annoying characters like Linguini for example, but it also offers, in my opinion, the best Pixar villain, Antonigo. He's a very strict food reviewer and threatens the existence of Gusteau's noble restaurant. But when you've seen the movie, you know that he goes through a big character changement in the end of the movie. And it's all just because of one small, touching and especially memorable scene. Everybody who has seen the movie will know what I mean. My only real problem with the movie is the ending. It hasn't got a typical happy ending. And so the characters face some realistic consequences. But then the movie doesn't follow the famous show don't tell rule of cinema and tells that the characters still end up in a good situation. And that's just not too well made. But still, it's a very fantastic movie. And now, let's carry on to number 6. Number 6. Finding Nemo was released in 2003 and directed by Andrew Stanton. It has a lot of funny and creative characters and scenes. Something that stands out are the relatable character motivations. Especially Marlin as an overcaring father as he loses his only son Nemo. And the characters are really the strong point of the movie. There are a lot of memorable characters like the vegetarian sharks. An adventure movie formula is perfectly put into the ocean setting and animation setting, and the movie has a great emotional payoff in the end. All in all, Finding Nemo is among the funniest Pixar movies and entertaining from the first to the last second. I can really recommend it to every age group. Number 5. The 5th place on my list is Inside Out. It was released in 2015 and directed by Pete Docter. The movie centers around a very interesting idea, where all the emotions in the head are different persons and control the human's feelings. The movie also deals about the time between childhood and puberty. The emotions in the head, especially joy and sadness, have to deal with these changes and adapt. But for this movie, I won't give away too much about the plot, because the setting is really all you need to know about this movie, and then you just watch it and you can have a real good time. The setting works so good because of the extraordinary well-made world building. Everything is connected to each other and has a purpose.
Your command, sir!
Just shut up!
Fire! That's it. Go to your room. The foot is down. The foot is down.
Number 4.
Watch out!
Toy Story 3 was released in 2010 and directed by Lee Unkrich. It is the final movie of the Toy Story trilogy and was released 11 years after the second installment in the series. The previous two movies were fun adventure movies with amazing characters, but this movie just has better and more important themes in my opinion. These themes show mainly the frame action of the movie, which is about Andy, the owner of the toys, having to grow up and leaving his childhood behind. It concludes in one of the best Pixar endings I have seen in all these movies. Before this ending, the movie is made in a very fast paced and a lot is told in a very short time, especially during the prison break sequence in the second act of the movie. And as a consequence, some scenes are rushed, and this is the reason Toy Story 3 didn't end up any higher on this list. Anyways, we shouldn't leave out all the great things in the movie. For example, the funny and interesting character designs for the new toys, and the new villain, who is a pink teddy bear with a strawberry scent, but surprisingly functioned as a very great antagonist too. Plus, I have to say, the new setting with the kindergarten was a very good idea.
Where's my nose?
Here it is.
Here's your arm.
Give me that. That's
Honey,
mine.
the mustache?
Number 3. The third place on my list of my favorite Pixar movies is Up, which was released in 2009 and directed by Pete Docter. It's a very unique movie with great characters, especially the main protagonist Carl, who goes through a complicated character arc. And the story is about an old man who wants to fulfill his dream of having his house stand on the top of the Paradise Falls. He had a dream with his now dead wife and attaches thousands of air balloons to his house, which normally stands in a small city in the USA, and flies away with it. But by accident a little scout travels with him. Up has an amazing beginning and, without overestimating, one of the greatest montages in the whole entire history of cinema. The scene shows the whole life of Carl and his wife Ellie in just under 6 minutes. I actually made a video where I analyzed the scene and explained why it's so effective and heartbreaking. You can check this video out if you go into the description. While the movie has a very strong beginning and also a great conclusion and ending, it has some weaknesses in the second act where some scenes are just silly and some of the stuff that happens just is downright stupid. But when you look at the fantastic storytelling, the awesome music and like always very sharp and crisp animation, there's nothing to complain and it remains one of the best Pixar movies of all time. Number 2. Monsters Inc. was released in 2001 and again directed by Pete Docter. It is one of the most creative settings on this list. A ton of monsters gets electricity from the Monsters Inc., where the power is obtained by going into children's bedrooms and scaring them. The screams that children make create the power for the monsters. But it all gets out of control when the two monsters Mike and Sullivan accidentally bring a child into the world of the monsters. This film actually used to be my favorite movie from 8 years old to 11 years. And I still consider it a masterpiece until today. Okay, and here's why. There are once again great characters and a lot of funny jokes, good animation, but this movie really has the most tension and the most surprising twists out of the whole library of Pixar films. It also has an emotional ending with a satisfying payoff and a great change of the monsters' world in the end. Monsters Inc. perfected Pixar's formula of creative and downright just fantastic storytelling, great and believable characters, touching and heartwarming scenes, good tension and action, and of course humor. But what could top this almost perfect structured movie? Well, a movie that is just different than anything else, like From Another World. But actually, my number 1 pick takes place on this planet. My number 1 pick is WALL-E. It deals with environmental problems that could really happen in some kind of way like that in the future. And it's a movie that really plays in its own league, and I have never seen anything like it ever again. It was released in 2008 and directed by Andrew Stanton. Wall-E is the last robot left on Earth, and he collects and tidies trash because mankind has abandoned the planet 700 years ago and left an enormous amount of trash. But out of nowhere, a spaceship appears, and Wall-E meets a new robot, Eve. The movie has a special and very unique atmosphere, and the amount of detail that is put into the animation is astonishing. The robots seem very human-alike and have a strong character, without even saying a word, just with their mimic. Not a single word is spoken, and no dialogue is used in the first half hour of the movie. The movie just comes up with so many creative ideas and awesome visual storytelling to still make the audience attached to the characters, and it really works. The setting is very interesting and fascinating, and the plot, so the story of the movie, just takes you completely into Wall-E's world. Along with a lot of funny elements, the movie also focuses about very serious, dark and important topics. And it's very brave from a children's movie to also deal with these kind of themes. Wall-E is a 1 in a million kind of movie, and my favorite Pixar movie of all time. But what do you think? And here's the number half. What is your favorite Pixar movie, and did you think I left any movie out of the list? For example, one of the movies of the Cars trilogy, or the original Toy Story, which was just, for my taste, a little bit too much experimenting from Pixar, and the animation just can't hold up with the animation from today. Or did you miss Brave or Coco, which seems a bit too constructed for me? You could tell that some of the scenes were just there to advance the plot and wouldn't come out of the characters. But yeah, really, this last place is up to your choice, and so you decide which movie you would want to see there. You can write into comments, and I hope you liked my video. If you want, you can share it and help me. If you like it, you can like it. If you didn't like it, you can, of course, comment why you didn't like it. And I hope I see you in the next video.